I'm Ron Jacobs, and this is my persuasive speech. Imagine you just get done with class, you go to your car, you're worn out for the day. You get back, you realize stuff has been shuffled around, and the door handle has been messed with a little bit. You call campus police, they come out, they check it out, they check the cameras. They realize that they recognize the person, and they go and they have a talk with him. Well, they end up catching him stealing $1,100 out of your car. How do y'all think he got caught? His body camera. Today, I'm going to explain to y'all why every police officer needs to have a body camera in the country. Now, I'm going to start off explaining what the body camera is. The body camera sits on the police officer, usually on his chest. Some departments have them on their ear. What they do is they record everything that they do. They can be turned on and off, but usually they're on the whole time so every department knows what they're doing. Now, when it comes to the cost of the cameras, it costs New Orleans. Now, New Orleans is roughly the size, police force, about the size of Nashville, maybe just a tad bit bigger. They have more area. Cost for that was $1.2 million. Now, that's roughly just under $1,000 a police officer it costs to give them these cameras and set them up with it. Now, you guys might be thinking that's a lot of money, but that saves a lot of taxpayers with court cases and a lot of other things when it comes to the police department if they did not have these cameras, because everything nowadays is recorded, and if you get recorded saying, it's going to hold up in court. Now, the big question is, where do you store these? They have to have different facilities. It can't just be, a little computer sitting in a room where you walk in, put the chip in, takes it off, it puts it on, saves it, because it's a lot. It's roughly about 10 gigabytes a month for an officer to put all of his data on a computer, which is a lot of storage. Now, how long do you store them for? That's another big question. Usually, on the Forbes website, it says on the article on the Forbes website, what impact are body cameras having on modern policing? It says to keep them stored for about 13 months because after a year, there's not going to be a lot of trials. And after about a year in the criminal justice system, it's real hard to get a case up and running. And a lot of things changed in a year. Now, the next thing is safety. Police officers have to deal with a lot of safety, not only for us, but for them. They want to go home at the end of the day like we do. Now, body cameras have reduced 93% of officers. 93% of officers help with evidence gathering. It has reduced the time with that. So when they pull up to a car and they realize, oh, there might be drugs in here, and they miss it, but they go back and they look on their body camera and they see it's right there, they have it. It's less time they have to spend searching that. Or if the guy confesses, they can go back, look at that, be like, hey, look, he confessed right here. That's this step we have to skip. It's easy. And then there's been a 59% reduce of use of force. Now, that's not officer-involved shootings because that's more of a instinct kind of thing. If a weapon gets pulled, they're going to respond. I'm talking about, you mouth off to him, he grabs you, throw you on the ground. No, that's seen a big reduce, and it's not happening anymore. Now, also on the article, what impact are body cameras having on modern policing? Forbes.com, they all say it's reducing the cost of criminal justice. Like I was saying earlier, it takes away court costs, us taxpayer money who helps keep all that going, like police officers and the courts again, and keeps it going. Saves us money too. Now, the attitude part of it. There has been a big attitude change when it comes to body cameras. There has been less complaints towards officers and departments because it catches everything on camera. So if an officer messes up, it catches it, and yes, that can be a complaint. But if they don't and you complain, they're just going to be like, hey, he didn't complain. It's not that big of a deal. We have it right here. If you want to come and look at it, you can. If you want to go on, we'll just shut you down in court. It's that simple. Now, In the article, body-worn cameras, what the evidence tells us on the National Institute of Justice, there hasn't been too much less of assaults when it comes to attitude, like mouthing off. It just kind of catches, a word or two. It's not, they might catch a cuss word or stuff like that, or hold back on saying a word or two that they wouldn't, but it's not completely. It's just there for video, and saying's not a big thing. And also on the police perspective, the pros and cons of police, the complaints again. There has been a huge drop in complaints, and it has continued dropping. And police officers, the more cameras you get on people, the more it's going to keep dropping. Unfortunately, we don't have cameras here in Murfreesboro because we're not that big of a city yet. But the major cities like Detroit, LA, New York, Nashville, pretty sure Nashville has them, and a couple of other majors have them. We have them in the cars, but we don't have them on the people that are out walking around. And this is why we need cameras on everybody, not just for the safety of the police officer wanting to go home, but the safety for us if anything happens to us, the citizens, moving on and outside doing what we want to do. And now everything's on camera, so we're also protected. Thank you.